The prices for Spirit were noticeably cheaper than everybody else. Not, hundreds less, but they were definitely less. We went from Portland to Vegas round trip using them. I did a bunch of research on Spirit to see what people had to say about it. I found something like 90-95% negative reviews about just horrible service, cramped, stuffy, disgusting airlines, always late, delays. The other thing I found out too is that one of the reasons that they are so cheap is because there's no amenities and you pay for everything. That's true, but here's another thing I found out. I actually saw this on Reddit. There were a number of people that were complaining about, they cancel flights and give you nothing. There's no free water on there. There's no snacks. There's no TV, whatever it is. One guy on Reddit made a really good point. He said there's two types of things that happen. One is customer's fault, one is Spirit's fault. The customer's fault is they don't research, they don't read the company's terms, they do no research at all, and have expectations that aren't realistic. And then the other one was Spirit's fault for having delays and cancellations and not caring. Most every negative review I read centered around, oh my God, they charged me for my checked baggage. Oh my God, my carry-on was $50. I tried to, I tried to get a free Coke on there and they wouldn't give it to. If you actually did the research, if you had spent, say, 10 minutes on Spirit's website, they do say that. I found it. I wasn't even looking that hard for it. So I searched for Spirit fees. That's it. I found it. The only things include the ticket cost is a flight to your destination. Hopefully it's one. It doesn't have a connection, and that you're only paying for a seat and a personal item, briefcase, laptop, small backpack, purse. That's it. Everything else from checked baggage to your carry-on bag to everything else is not free. No free water, no snacks, nothing. Basically, they're flying you there. That's it. There's no onboard entertainment. Don't expect anything. If you're going to bring luggage or have a carry-on, checked bag or carry-on, either one, the cheapest price is to check in and pay for it online. Then the price goes up according to if you check it when you check at the airport or at the last minute. The price all goes up. Their fees to check in are higher than anybody else. Most of the airlines are between $25 and $35. Theirs starts at $40 and then goes up from there. And your maximum baggage weight, including the price, is 40 pounds. And then it goes up. We were careful to pack what we needed, and whatever else we just packed in a backpack and brought on the plane. For all the people out there saying, "Oh my God, they charged me an extra $100 for baggage," on their website it says if you're part of the $9 fare club, the fees are a lot lower. If you check in online and pay your fees, they're a little bit low. Well, they cost more than being the $9 club, but they're still lower than when you're at the terminal. The most expensive price you're going to pay are at the terminal. I think our checked baggage was $80 for 2 bags. If you did it at the counter, I think it's somewhere in $50 or $55. I can't remember exactly. But they are very transparent. They don't hide anything. There's no Wi-Fi as of yet. There's no TVs in the screen in the seats. No music playing. You pay for everything on there. Anything outside the basically sitting in a seat and being flown to your destination, there's a charge. Now you could say, "Oh my God, that's so cheap." Well, there's a reason the airline is dirt cheap, because you're not paying for those things. And again, they are transparent. They do tell you that. Almost everybody complaining about it didn't look. They just go, "Well, I'm sure they give you a free pop. I'm sure nobody else charges this stuff." Don't assume. If you know what you're getting into, they're perfectly fine. We took off about 10 minutes early and landed 20-some minutes early. Are they all that way? No. There were complaints of our plane left an hour late or was canceled. Okay, cancellations happen, and we arrived an hour late, or sometimes the plane took out, that it was canceled, we had to wait the next day. Well, I've flown United and American. They have cancellations and delays too. I've had at least 3 delays with United. Spirit does not have a large fleet. If you get canceled, they'll put you on the next plane. It may be in a couple hours or maybe the next day. You'll get it. But be aware that that's not unique to them. I also read if you're only going one leg, which we didn't have a connection, you're way better off. And if your flight is only an hour and a half, you're fine too. Ours was 2 hours. We had no problem with it. The seats were a tiny bit cramped, but not much. Myself and Lady are short though. We're both under 5'10". I mean, I'm short. When we were sitting down, I think we probably had 2 or 3 inches of leg room. The guy next to me I'm sure he was taller. His legs were spread just a little bit, but he was in the aisle seat. No, there's not a lot of room. But, you know, I mean, for flying for a couple hours, live with it, for God's sake. We weren't, you know, I wasn't so close to the passenger in front of me I could read their DNA. Some of the videos and pictures I've seen of other Spirit flights, it shows that there's a tiny tray in the back seat, well, the seat in front of you, and there's no pocket, it's bungee cords. Some of them are like that. Ours wasn't. Our plane was probably a little bit newer. We had a little pocket in the back, and it looked like a full-size tray. There are no TVs. There's no power outlets. They did serve drinks and snacks, and they did say, yeah, there's a charge for it. Folks, stop for a minute. Before you order a service or a product or whatever, read the company terms. If you don't read the terms and assume things and just assume, oh, I could charge it, nobody charges for this, it's your own fault. Okay? It's not horrible. If you can't live with these things, spend more money and fly one of the other major carriers. If you know what to expect, if you know what you're getting into and are aware of the costs, Spirit's fine. We have no complaints. We brought snacks on the plane. We brought water on the plane. We ate a tiny bit, but just slept for 2 hours. No complaints. The flight attendants were nice. I mean, nobody was bouncing around smiling, but they were fine. They made plenty of announcements. They were just fine. Nobody was rude to us. Not a bad job to Spirit, at least on this flight. There's a leg room right here. Let's see, probably 2 inches, not a lot, but pull that tray. This is probably 8 by maybe a foot, so not too bad. But as much as people complain that the seats are tight, they are, but they're not as bad as I was expecting. Yeah, you can see it right there. So, yeah. Now, if you're well over 6 feet, it could be a problem. Being under that, it's not that bad, especially for an economy flight. There is enough room to put a good-sized backpack, like a school backpack, not hiking, under the seat. And my laptop is down here on the floor, so it may be a little bit narrower than, say, United or American or what have you, but it's not that bad. As previously mentioned, I could see it being a problem if you're, say, 6'2", 6'4", but even then it's a short flight. It's, you know, you can live with it for a couple hours.